Mr. Jason, you're never going to believe this. You want to hear a story?
I would love to.
It is almost the end of the month here. I have 4 salespeople and have had 4 the whole year. It's just been 4. And we've been really working it, doing a lot of stuff. We're on pace for 235K, and one of them is over 50K on pace.
That's crazy. And you're literally days away from the last day of the month.
Yeah.
So what's the deal? I want to know.
What's the deal?
Give me the secret sauce.
It was honestly somewhere that I hadn't even expected. And it's something we've talked about a lot. But if you want to hear about it, Mr. Jason, you're going to have to hang out till the very end.
Ooh, you're a teaser, Mr. Greg.
I sure am.
Insurance dudes are on a mission to escape being handcuffed by our agencies.
How? By uncovering the secrets to creating a predictable, consistent, and profitable agency sales machine.
I am Craig Pretzinger.
I am Jason Feldman.
We are agents.
We are insurance dudes.
Okay, so I'm in our sales meeting and we're going through some of the numbers, talking about a couple of our comp things that we have going for the team, and they're getting all pumped up, getting all excited. I'm doing a short
frequently, right?
Yeah. You got to change it up. And something you and I were talking about a lot was doing shorter runs.
Yeah.
You know, I tend to get in the long end of the year one. And I've always kind of done that. And what I've noticed, and I think you have too, is you get a little farther into the year, somebody gets behind, and all of a sudden they're so far gone they can't catch it. It's like a demotivator.
100%.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
they get pissed.
Yeah. So like for me, I love the notion of it, but I think that it has to be above and beyond and something that's just crazy, right? Like just off to the side. And I'll talk about that in a minute, but I want to talk first about what we're doing every week. So we're doing something every week that's leading to really great weekly engagement from the team, right? So they're always fired up because they're competing weekly, right?
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not a ton, a couple $100 here and there. But or $100 for the week or 50, or maybe it stacks if it's
Sure.
number of quotes, but it's always some activity based thing, has nothing to do with results. So whether they asked a certain thing from the script on the call, who did it the most, right? And then we'll make it fun, spin the wheel, do whatever, right? So throw in some fun to it. They get all excited. And when you do that, then they're thinking about, oh, I'm going to get to do this thing because I did this effort, and they're willing to do it, right? They love that.
I love it.
Yeah.
And so that's it. That's the one thing that.
Oh no, that's not it. We're not even close. Okay. Yeah.
I love
it. The next thing. So let's talk about the big play, because I think this is fun. And I threw it out there because I really wanted to see with the team how fired up they get. So I teased it on the board, just said $500,000 producer. I just wrote $500,000 producer, big trip for 2025, find out more. And I just wanted to see what they would do. And all of a sudden they're asking Jasmine, hey, what's this? What's that? What's 500,000? And then instead of giving them the answer, he started telling them, oh, well, that is about 45,000 a month, 47,000 a month. And they're like, no, how much we have to do. And so we just kept getting them excited, not telling them. I dropped it on them today. And it's basically, I talked to a travel agent, had them put together a little package that I could show them, a little $5,000 trip. And you may think, Mr. Craig, you're going to give out $5,000. I would happily give out $5,000 if somebody writes 500,000 in premium for the year, right? That would make sense all day long. And I didn't just throw it out. I pull it out of the air. I looked at our lifetime value of somebody of 500,000 in premium, and look at what that turns into. It for us and for what we write, we're looking at well over close to 300,000 in revenue. If a producer writes 500,000, so can I afford the 5,000?
Of course,
right? All day long, I could afford a much bigger trip for them, right? But
there's a lot of other stuff that goes into that. There's a lot of yeah.
No, but honestly, like for them, they went bananas. They're of course they said, well, do we get paid while we're on the trip? They have to ask those questions, but at the end of the day, it was all. They do not.
Okay.
Yeah. Come on. You're going to trip. I don't know.
It would be interesting though.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, whatever I'm supposed to do is what we'll be doing.
Yeah, right.
And I think the first bridge to cross will be for them to hit that, right?
Yeah, I like that.
So guess what, Mr. Jason? That was not the one thing either.
Ooh, so so far we have our weekly stack, which I love. I've always loved the weekly, and I especially like it with teams. And that always gives a fun element into the weekly, the Monday through Friday, the Monday through Friday. But now we have
energy.
Yeah,
it creates energy, right?
You have to have that.
Yeah.
That's why we always get in these conversations. And I don't like the long play, but if you stack the weekly play with the long play, that's interesting because I love that. I love that because then there's like multiple levels to it. You have to have the short play because that's exactly what they're doing, right? They're going every 2 weeks they're getting paid, right? So right around there they're getting paid. One of those weeks has a commission check. So that's the level at which they're expecting things. So like if you can do weekly, you're on fire because they're seeing it. They can see the results immediately. But now we stack this really cool long play on it, and I can't wait to hear what else.
Oh, and a little subset of the long play, we also showed them how much total commission that means for the year too. So that's an extra 30 grand in commission. They're like, you get paid 30K and you get a trip. I mean, right? And and so then it's now connecting them to solve their biggest pain. Okay. Now this is the one thing. Now, if you've listened to this podcast for any length of time, then you know that we've talked about something that everybody on the internet's talked about at one point, which is people are far faster to avoid pain, far faster to move to avoid pain than to seek pleasure. Right.
Right.
So let's frame this situation with that. Right. I do have one that has been here. Two of them have been here the same amount of time. One came and was a very strong salesperson.
Okay.
So she's capable of hitting it more easily because it's not painful for her to do the activity because she gets it. She does this stuff. Now that's important because she's the person that the rest of them saw do it the first time. She's had her 50K month. They've seen it's possible, right?
Right.
And because they saw it's possible, they went through the pain, even though you would avoid it. They did go through it because it wasn't as painful. We made it incremental. Like we just gradually over the last year kept moving them up until they were hitting it, and they saw
that she was able to achieve it.
I'll call her Angie. Angie was able to do it, right? So now they see it. So last month, all of them were over 35K.
Wow.
They might have all been over 40, but it's close. They're all right around 40, which is the important part.
Right.
So now they've all hit it, and they all cleared their commission too. Like they didn't have chargebacks. They were solid. So now,
first off, I want to congratulate you because I don't care what other BS companies say that, our sales agents reach this much and this much. We know the real numbers and most of it's BS, right? But like to have 40,000 across, like as let's say it's 38 or even 35 average for 4 sales agents is phenomenal.
Yeah.
For a captive.
Right. And it's I think it's your belief as well as mine that if somebody can write 35, they can write 50. I mean, that's just no brainer. You know, it's like if somebody can't get past 20, then they're never gonna. That's it. You know,
my highest sales producer hit, I think, 54,000 1 month.
Cuevas?
Maybe.
Maybe.
You're not supposed to say names.
Oh, I said huevos. Eggs. Rancheros.
Yeah. But 54,000. And it was like, that was the 4-minute mile. for me. So yeah, I mean, I 100% think you can do that.
I think 40K, at least in Arizona, 40K is the 4-minute mile. Like when they like all of them have now cracked 40. They got paid on 40. 40 is a big commission jump here. So, my friggin' payroll was pretty high this month.
Yeah.
And it will be high next month, but that's fine, right? Who cares? Because it pays for itself.
What do you want? A freaking awesome sales team that is going to pay you a ridiculous commissions in the future. So it might not be your return on investment. And we've talked about this a lot. Might not be, it's not this, right? You went negative a little bit. This one, or maybe,
probably
maybe you broke even.
It's pretty close. Yeah.
But you're going to get a minimum of 4 renewals. 4 renewals, I think.
Yeah.
4 renewal minimum average on those policies. It's free money at that point.
It's kind of, you can almost look at like it's 2 businesses. You have the business that's just sitting there and creating the recurring revenue on one side. And then you have your growth business on this side. And this one, the one that has the recurring, is helping fund the growth one. And then the growth one is kicking more back over to it's like this symbiotic thing. But if you don't think of it like that, I think it gets kind of worrisome. And then we're tracking the wrong thing, the wrong activity against the wrong outputs. Does that
right? You're not looking at like I like your analogy there, the 2 different sides, the growth.
2 business
growth
units. Yeah.
Is you're an investor at that point.
Yes.
You're not just an agency owner, you are an investor.
Right.
You're working on the business in the other one, but at that point, you're working as an investor.
Yes. It used to bother me when like somebody from some marketing company or lead company or whatever said, your investment in this thing will be this, because I didn't think of it like an investment. I thought, you're stupid. This is freaking stupid sales talk. But then when I started looking at this and thinking of it like this, like an investment, it changes, right? It's like, okay, let's say I need to make money and my business isn't making that much money, but I have access to $100,000. I can take that money, I can invest it in the market and get my 8%. And hopefully it goes up this year, because if it doesn't, then I'm really behind.
Right.
Or I take that 100,000, put it in my agency, follow a process that I know works because I've done it, and create a money multiplier.
100%. Now let's get back to 50,000.
Yes.
You're trying to get up to there. So
they all clear 40. They all now believe. And this is the part, let's put a bow on it. This is the part that I can't believe. And you cannot make this stuff up. Okay. They all told Jazz this morning after I left, and they were all pumped. He said, all right, is everybody, great. You guys all cleared 40 this month. You're all going to hit it next month. Or is everybody going to hit 40? And they all like agreed and said that we can't afford to not hit over 40. So understand, like, they now reverse the pain. The pain is no longer, I need to do all this to write this, right? Which they'll figure out ways to avoid and never quite get there. Now the pain is, I can't afford to not do that activity because I have to have that. Right. So the pain is now losing the commission.
100%. It's the cost of not. The cost of not is everything. It's like
cost of not.
We always talk about this too when you're investing into like different marketing and all this stuff. What's the cost of not doing? What's the cost of not growing your agency? Like for me, not growing my agency would have been, especially during the growth period of opening the scratch agency.
Wait, is this what you're going to talk about on the next episode?
Yeah, let's just do that. Let's just do that.
Sounds like a really good. I'm very interested in that.
Yeah. Subscribe. Opt in for Internet Lead Secrets. I think it's like $7, but it's the awesome book that you'll get on Internet Lead Secrets that we're talking about now.
Hey, and if you know what, if you don't want to spend the $7, that's fine. Go down. You can go get the newsletter. Newsletter's free. And we're going to give you great, tasty tidbits. And then you probably
and then you can taste them. And that's a coffee talk.
Nibba, nibba, nibba.